really realized that.
The glaze is here.
Oh my God, they love glazing their favorite panelists, bro. It's insane.
Oh, talk to him.
Talk to him. They love doing that. I was on the panel today, right, Jalen?
Yeah.
And we was talking. And number one, I don't like the discourse between the final series and how, because we had a conversation here, me and Gifted, and there was some dialect, and I seen Gifted's points, he seen mine, but we both came to the conclusion like it won't be a surprise if Dallas wins. It's actually very much closer to what people lead on, right?
Yep.
And for weeks now, I'm keep hearing, not weeks, but all week I've been hearing all these talk about Boston and Dallas and Boston this and Boston that. Swipe is saying Boston and 5 and shit, bro. And I'm just sitting there like, y'all do realize the Boston Celtics play the exact way that the Dallas Mavericks defense. People keep telling me how, oh yeah, they haven't faced an offense like that. Well, guess what? They haven't faced a defense like Dallas either.
Very true. Dallas' defense
and Dallas has done a good job of funneling guys to the mid-range, something that the Boston Celtics do not like to take.
They do.
And when I've given them this, Jalen, I've given them the stats on it. I told them how Jason Tatum has more 3-point shots than looks at the rim. I've told them how Jaylen Brown, a third of his shots are from 3. I said how Drew Holiday, half of his shots are from 3. I told him how Derek White, a 2/3 or 3/4 of his shots are from 3. Told him all of these stats. Doesn't matter, right? I'm just hating, you know. The Dallas Mavericks still have nothing against them. And I'm just sitting there like,
you bringing all the facts and they hating.
I'm bringing all the facts. I'm bringing the dialogue. I'm talking about the adjustments that Dallas is making. They keep telling them, the world keeps telling them to blitz Luka when in the short roll with Derek Lively, that's been cooking the Clippers. That's been cooking OKC. That's been cooking the Timberwolves, right? So how are we just, my whole point is, even if you blitz Luka, they're still going to cook. There's no way to stop that offense, especially with Derek Lively out there. So the thing is, people keep talking about how Boston can defend them, and they just need to understand they can't. Especially when the best defense in the league, with rim protectors, with wing defenders, with versatile defenders, we're getting destroyed. What the hell do you think is going to happen to KP after we just witnessed what they were doing to Rudy Gobert? What do you think is going to happen, Jalen?
This is fact. No, this is true. Look, I'm with you. I don't think there's a defensive scheme or a game plan to stop Luka and Kyrie. Like what you say, they're gonna blitz him. They're gonna cook him on the blitz. Like Dallas is gonna get to Lively. Lively's been cooking. He's gonna find the open man. Blitzing Luka is not gonna be the way. Now, do I think that Boston has better individual perimeter defenders? I think the foursome of Tatum, Jaylen Brown,
foursome is crazy.
No, I mean, you know what I mean. Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Derek White, and Drew Holiday. Those four essentially alternating, taking turns on Luka, I think gives him kind of fresher bodies and just more guys to put on him and Kyrie. That I think could help. But other than just kind of individual solid defense with those guys, there's not a scheme. I do think, yeah, there is 100%. There isn't. And when you said, look, Porzingis is not 100%. Porzingis is playing hurt. He's already said he's not 100%. I think he's going to look really bad out there. Hasn't played in a few weeks. So I don't expect Porzingis to be that effective on the court either. So that's going to be kind of.
And then the Al Horford minutes. Like, bro, like I need y'all to understand something. That bench outside of Peyton Pritchard is not great. It's not. Al Horford, he's going to give you one game where he's going to give you like 5 or 7 threes. After that, bricks after bricks after bricks. Like, that's just what happens. And when he has to be matched up on a Kyrie and Luka, if Boston's like, bro, it's going to cause problems a lot. And they're going to look to find him in a ton of actions like they always do.
No, without a doubt.
So it's like people keep, and then people keep talking about, well, you make the Mavs play through the role players. Like the role players haven't been showing up all postseason long. Like, what are we talking about? It's the dumbest thing. They're talking about blitz him, get the ball out Luka's hands because we want everyone else to beat him. They damn near did that in the OKC series when everyone else was cooking.
I'm telling you right now, Derrick Jones Jr. on defense, I think he's probably going to guard Tatum. That's no joke. Tatum has to really come with it to be able to beat Derrick Jones Jr. defensively.
That's bro, and it's Jalen, bro. It's such a one-way street when they're talking about Boston and Dallas. Boston and Dallas. Like the Nuggets weren't the favorite to win. Then the Timberwolves became the favorites. They had a 7-game series with that crew, right? The Timberwolves became the favorites after they beat the Nuggets. Then what happened? Dallas beats them in 5. But somehow there's just a considerable margin between Dallas and Boston. Shut the fuck up. Like, I'm so, like, shut up.
I mean, someone thinks it's going to be a sweep. I think that's a little ridiculous.
Gifted. And you know what, Gifted? I have to salute you, bro. Because out of everyone I've talked in basketball, like in PC, you are by far probably the most honest and receiving person I've actually talked to. Because you're not just the type to just dismiss stuff. If you hear something that's factual, you're gonna be like, okay, I hear what you're saying here, but this is what I think can counter that. And we could work down through the ladder to reach a common ground of understanding at the end. And if we disagree, we disagree. And we have moments where we just completely disagree, and that's fine. But more times than not, we walk down that path to a point where, okay, I see where the disconnect is.
No one likes to show.
No one on this channel does that. No one. Not one person.
Just being honest with yourself. You're not gonna be right about everything. So it's like I'm very open to being wrong about stuff. It happens, right? Like you're not gonna shoot 100% from the field. But it sounds like people are still thinking Dallas doesn't have a chance, Dub. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Really? Oh, I don't see that.
It's the dialogue. It's the dialogue and the energy towards it, right? Gifted. And it's like when I talk to you about the point of rebounding, when I talk to you about the point of Dallas's defense, when I talk the way they received it on the panel, the way you received it, 2 different ways, as if they dismissed, as if it didn't matter. And I'm just sitting here like, how don't these things matter? These motherfuckers try to tell me that Joe Mazzulla and Jason Kidd are on the same level of coach. And I'm like, bro, I'm done. There's no way you could just watch this whole entire postseason. And especially because Jason Kidd, it's not winning bias, number one. You can see how he's made adjustment after adjustment after adjustment in the postseason. He may be a playoff rising coach. The craziest thing I've ever heard, right, Gifted?
Yeah, playoff rising coach.
He's a playoff rising coach. Crazy as hell. Because he has made adjustment after change, open-mindedness, and defense. When Lively wasn't there for game 4 and they tried to do a short roll Gafford, it wasn't working. They shifted off of that. Bro, like Joe Mazzulla wasn't doing none of that shit. And I don't trust him to do none of that shit.
In Mazzulla's defense, though, I don't think he was asked to do that.
1,000%.
They're relatively easy, right? Yeah, they're relatively easy. They got the job.
But when we see a guy constantly do that in damn near every single postseason compared to a guy who has a bomb squad and hasn't, yeah, shut the fuck up. I'm not hearing the argument. I'm just not. I'm not. They literally told me Jason Kidd and Joe Mazzulla are on the same level of coach.
So I think what I will say with that is I think what Mazzulla does offensively in terms of generating shot quality, like he literally runs offense like he's basically AI, right? Where it's just going to be the best possible shot with threes, but it's very, 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 very math-based, right? In terms of making adjustments, he really just rides or dies with the ship. And I think the reason why they might tell you it's close is because for Boston, their team is good enough to where if you just go with that style, they can win all the way that way without having to shift their style. But that comes into test when you play a team like Dallas, where sure, they might not have a strong 6 like they do, but they have a player in Luka who can, really have the entire offense oriented around him and what his style is. So that to me is a very dramatic shift. I think Joe can make adjustments, but we've literally seen the head coach for Dallas the entire season do it in the biggest moments when it's mattered in these playoff series, right? Where he's putting players in the right spot to flourish. In the postseason, he has done that. I think the real test, though, is now that he has Maxi Kleber back, I will say he's going to have to make decisions in terms of minutes, in terms of, okay, where do I fit you in, right? Because I will say this is going to sound weird. It's not hate, but I do feel like by not having Maxi there, it forced his hand to have to be creative because now, okay, we don't have this rotational guy that I'm comfortable all the time with playing. Now that he's back, he's going to have to manage that more.
For sure. My thing with Maxey, it's interesting because in my head, at this point, like, where can we even fit Maxey? Because I think PJ needs to be in the starting lineup, right? Okay. And then after
he'll give PJ his break, though. Like, when PJ wants to go to the bench, you give Maxey some.
They've had such good rotations with, like, Harden at the one and then moving them down, letting them play small a bit, and the defense doesn't take a hit. You feel me? So in my head, I think Gift is right. We'll have to see when those moments come. I guess I have to see in the middle of the game of when Maxey will come. I guess if we're gonna match him up on on Horford, like I guess, but even then, I don't. There's no reason. There's no reason to. That's more of a favor. That's more of a favor to what's his name, to Boston, because Maxey ain't really mobile offensively, so it's kind of a guy that they can cheat off of, right? So
I don't like the idea of going small ball with Maxey as much versus Boston, because to me, the biggest strength for Dallas is our big lineups all the time. If you go small with Maxey, that favors Boston to me.
Well, that's the thing. They better not put him at the 5. I think they have to strictly keep it Lively, Gafford.
Agreed.
Just put that up for the whole 48 minutes, because the things they would do to Luke Cornett would be criminal. The things they would do to him would be criminal, and they will consistently control the glass for all 48 minutes. See, they were doing against Minnesota. They need to keep that.
Dallas has to stay big so they can see those Luke Cornett minutes and take advantage of that. Right? Don't play to your strengths. Don't play to Boston's games 100%. Look, I don't even mind Lively and Gafford minutes together if they really wanted to. I just want to see how that turned out against Boston. If they want to do that.
If Al Horford's out with Luke Cornett,
that's what I'm saying right there.
But see, that's why Porzingis is so key to me here, though, because this is under the assumption that he's not able to play as many minutes again. I think game 1 is going to probably be his worst game of the series. But if KP is doing everything that he was doing in the regular season, Boston is a different team. All year long, I've been saying when he's on the floor at his best, Boston is a different team. When he's not, they are a drastically different team, because he is like their bailout guy, to where it's like, okay, now we have a full 5 that can shoot, pass, and really space the floor, because he's not just some guy where it's like, okay, sure, Al Horford, you can shoot, but I'm kind of dying with that. Sure, that's fine. KP spaces you out from deeper and can actually attack you off closeouts. And more importantly, unlike Al Horford, he's a movement shooter. They can run consistent pick and pops at the hash with him. Al Horford at this stage is more so, I'm going to catch and shoot in like the corners or like nearby the corner hash. KP can shoot from anywhere on the floor. So that versatility gives them a different option. But again, we haven't seen him play basketball in a month. I think that matters. You can't 100%. Play no basketball for an entire month and come into the finals like it doesn't matter. So I do think in game 1 he's going to struggle, Dub. But I do feel like as the series progresses, I think KP is going to be closer to what he was in the regular season. And with the shooters and the passers that they have, he could have more success.
This is the thing with KP with me, especially if he's matched up on Gafford or Lively, right? In my mind, the main thing he could provide that's going to be really hurting them, like the threes he's been putting up sometimes in the regular season, like I know you've been seeing them fucking threes. Them threes. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's insane, right?
Yeah,
he's not a better rebounder than Lively or Gafford. In the post, I actually trust Lively or Gafford to be able to defend him, to be able to be physical with him and throw him off his spots, right? So the main thing that Boston needs from him is for that 3 ball to really go down. And KP has been a guy that has shown, especially if my post touches aren't there, forget me in the postseason. You feel me? I'm nothing. So that's the thing with KP, where I'm also curious where, with that not going down for him, because I trust Dallas's defense, how else will he affect the game? Like I said, if they were able to destroy Rudy Gobert, they're going to destroy him too. Then he's not, I don't think he's like a better rebounder than Lively or Gafford. That's something I don't think he's going to impact.
I do think with Porzingis too. I don't even think he's fully healthy. I'd be shocked if he plays more than 25 minutes first game. I just don't think conditioning after missing that much time coming into playoff basketball, especially the finals, he's going to expect Porzingis to play 30 minutes of healthy basketball. I just don't see it. I just don't see.
I mean,
100%.
Bros had forever to recover. Like I was just telling my boy this the other day. If you think about it, when he got hurt, the Celtics probably were just like, "Hey man, take as much time as you need, nigga. We good. Watch this." And then they just went on and went straight to the finals. So like,
I
he
mean,
had
I hear you.
at the same time that like Joel Embiid, like when we had this conversation before he came back, we were like, are they rushing him? And then you think about it, and you're like, he had pretty substantial time. And then when he came back, they were what, the 7th seed, I think. They had dropped from like the 3 seed to 7th seed. So it was like, if you have enough time to let somebody lay off and it doesn't affect you, like the Boston Celtics, they were like, all right, no Porzingis. We still got Tatum, Brown, Drew, Eric, we straight, bro. Like, we'll see you in the finals. Nigga, get healthy, rest up. That's what happened. So I could see
he's already said those conditions not there. Like he's
saying, I don't know what that was about.
Rehabbing,
yeah,
conditioning. There's no way your condition is going to be there. I mean, when you have to take like rest, bro. If you don't work out for a week, you feel it differently, bro. He probably was.
I think the only thing that helps him out though, and again, like this is what, and man, I cannot wait. First off, this final series. Listen, I don't care who you have. This should be some good basketball. I am so excited to be watching this shit, right? But this is my thing, Dub, right? The thing that people aren't talking about with KP is he's gonna get put in action. Sure, yes, I agree with that. But the difference is Dallas naturally enjoys a slower pace. Yeah. And I feel like for someone that's trying to get back in the rhythm, that will help you out more than going up and down the floor routinely and consistently versus athleticism.
I hear your point with that. But like you said, when they constantly keep having him in action,
that's the question.
Motherfucker can't rest. You know,
is Boston going to blitz though? Because all year long they have not really blitzed. But the most effective defense against Dallas in terms of Luka in the pick and roll has been the blitz option.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. And that's another thing though. Like the severe, like people aren't recognizing that if you have not done something all year, you have not practiced that even in game enough.
It's hard to rely on it.
Yeah. Like it's very hard for me to just be like, oh yeah, we're going to be a great blitzing team. Everyone's going to know where to be. Everyone's going to rotate prop. Like it's very difficult, especially when you haven't practiced that all year long. Right. So in my head, it's like this team, because KP would have to be KP and maybe JT or Drew Holiday or Derek White, whoever's guarding Luka. They're going to come up. And then they have to meet the rotations. KP is going to have to run to the man in the corner. And like I said, if Lively gets in that short roll, he'll see that man open in the corner. He always does. I'm not going to lie. It's right there for him, right? And they've been seeing those coverages. They've been seeing it against Timberwolves, seeing it against the Clippers, seeing it against OKC. And these are all great elite defenses. So it's like, if you don't know where everyone needs to be at with a guy in KP who's still trying to get in shape because he spent a month off, how are these rotations going to look, man?
Yeah.
That's why I got Dallas winning game one.
And see, listen, I, for that same reason, have Dallas in game one. I haven't given my full thing. I dropped a video today. I have Boston in 7 games, and a lot of it is tied towards the unknown factor of, I would say, Porzingis. However, I do think the longer it goes, I think the shot variance from Boston as a whole would favor them more slightly. And I feel like the biggest thing in this series that matters, and again, I'm saying this on wax now, so when we get in this series, we can go back to this. I'm telling you, I'm looking at transition. Because to Dub's point, right, these are both 2 good half-court defenses. To me, the variance in terms of, okay, the paint points, the second chance points, the 3-pointers, and more importantly, the points in transition. Boston has been the best transition defense for the majority of the regular season. Dallas, using Kyrie, who is a big factor, he pushes the pace for Dallas to be able to score easy when Luka isn't slowing it up. If Boston can get stops in transition and give them problems as well, you know, where KP is a trailer 3 or Jaylen Brown is really killing in transition, those are the areas that might give them an advantage to slightly edge out Dallas. That's my question. In terms of transition, who do you think can actually win those minutes on both ends? Because I think this is going to be a very close series. So margins like that, I'm really looking at.
Yeah.
I can understand. I think game 7, though, to me, if it goes Game 7, I'm taking Luka and Kyrie in Game 7. I'm not picking against.
That's why I said I got Boston in 6. That's literally
six,
why
I get it,
got
exactly, I
Boston
get
in
it.
6.
Yeah,
Because I was
7.
like, if this shit go to 7 games, bro, Luka is just that dude in Game 7s. I cannot.
I think Luka's that dude for sure. I think by far he's the best player. I think he would be the best player in the series. I'm just saying, okay, if Tatum and Brown can play at a consistent level, with the variance from White, Holiday, KP, like that's what I'm thinking can edge them out slightly. But Dallas can't be slept on because again, they have the most athletic front court in the NBA.
They have the most. They have the most
athletic.
Not even that. The most dangerous backcourt. In the
the backcourt is
I can't really.
I'll talk to Doug
too.
To me, Derek Jones versus Jason Tatum is such a matchup of Steve. Derek Jones has been phenomenal all playoffs defensively. I just want to see how Jason
you think it's going to be Derek Jones or PJ on JT?
See, I can see PJ in some minutes. I think Derek Jones should be the primary defender.
I think Tatum has an advantage against PJ.
I agree. I was about to say the same thing. If I'm the coach, it's DJJ. I'd put him on there.
I mean, sure, right? PJ is a bit stronger than DJJ, but he gets blown by a lot easier than he would.
He was getting blown by a cat.
By cat, bro. So if you look up Jason Tatum's game log, which again, is it all the way fair to PJ? I will say most of the times he matches up against PJ, he sees success. A lot of the time. So to me, I could understand DJJ, but again, I think he's also going to be less strong than Tatum. That's why for me, it's less about Dallas's defense. Again, I'm not trying to be overly disrespectful because that matters. But to me, the X factor is really Boston's offense. Are they going to be consistent? Are they just going to chuck it and just, take shots that Dallas is comfortable with? You know what I'm saying?
Though, right? They
that's
take
what
a
I'm
lot
saying.
of threes.
That's what they're gonna do. And people keep talking about Brandon saying Luka. They're gonna put Luka on Drew. And let's not have a revision.
Luka's gonna probably guard Drew. Yeah.
Let's not have a revisionist history here with Drew Holiday because he's been playing against trash opponents. He hasn't never been a great offensive player in the postseason. Like he just hasn't been. That was in Milwaukee, even when they won. Milwaukee last year. Milwaukee 2 years ago. That was when he was the 1 year on the Pelicans. I know he had that first round against Dame where he was cooking. Majority of his postseason career, he hasn't been a great offensive player at all. So let's not sit here and gas Drew Holiday like he's really gonna keep them honest. No, they're gonna just take the mid-range shots, Drew. That's what they're gonna do. What they've been doing to everyone. Run them off the 3-point line. Go make a mid-range shot, buddy, which he hasn't been doing great at all. This whole entire postseason.
That's not true. That's not true.
I looked it up.
He's been pretty good.
No, his threes. I'm talking about.
He said mid range. He said mid range.
Oh yeah, the mid range. Yes. No. Yeah. And see, I like that point because again, the one thing I hate about the series, right, is regardless of who you think is going to win, I don't like some of the points. Like I hear people say they're like, oh, how can Dallas score if they do this, that? I don't care who's on Luka or who's on JT, they're going to run actions to find these overall mismatches. If Luka is guarding Drew Holiday, guess who is setting a screen for Jason Tatum? Drew Holiday, right? They have done that all regular season. For me, it's more so the advantage in the conversion from the shots that you're getting out of that. That's my question.
But Dallas is a team that fights over screens for me. Where they're not going to concede to switch.
They don't do a lot of switches. Yeah, they definitely don't do as many switches.
Like they're gonna Luka will probably hedge, but then he'll just run back to Drew Holiday as soon as whoever's defending recovers, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, you can do that. I mean, and that's the shit that pisses me off about switching. Because Miami even gets me mad with that at times when they do it too, even though probably the best switching team in the league. They switch way too much sometimes, and I'm like, bro, we don't have to do that. We know JT if he takes that sidestep 3. We know how he's been falling in the postseason now. We could let that rock. We just hedge real quick and let the defender recover. Drew's not really going to be – he's not rolling to the rim. We just know he's not rolling to the fucking rim. So Luka will have enough time to get back to him, for sure. Let's be
the thing with Luka too is, from what I've seen from the Mavericks in the postseason, is when Luka gets the screen, he has the ball in his hand, he gets the screen. Whoever the center is that's coming off to try and play help,
Yeah.
There's always a split second, and you see it when you watch the game. There's always a split second because you can literally tell, like Rudy Gobert, you can literally tell when Rudy is thinking to himself, is he going to shoot? Is he going to go for the floater or is he going to go for the lob? And in that, you see Luka immediately make the other decision because he sees him thinking. That's how good Luka is in the pick and roll setting. So I'm interested to see if Boston will be able to somehow, some way, like we just talked about earlier, if they blitz it, it might be a different story. But we don't know if they're going to blitz it because all season long they haven't really been playing like that. They're so it's like
I don't think the blitz, like that's the thing. Like it's not.
I don't
even with the blitz.
I feel you.
We've seen Luka make the right pass.
Exactly.
Still.
Exactly.
Facts.
When you think about teams in this postseason alone, they said the same thing about the Timberwolves when they were blitzing Luka in their round. The thing for me was that the Timberwolves, when they were blitzing Luka Doncic, it's like it's Luka, bro. If you did the same shit to Jokic, and some nights you had it. But it was because Aaron Gordon wasn't paying attention, or the ball was dribbled off or hit off somebody's leg or something.
Yeah.
But for the most part, Luka and Jokic are the ones that read that shit easily, and LeBron. Like, don't get me wrong. So like, it depends on who you're blitzing. If it's really going to be that impactful. So they're blitzing Luka Doncic. I've seen it with my eyes. I have no reason to deny that Luka Doncic will make the right play 9 times out of 10 off a blitz. No reason to deny it. He be seeing shit that I don't even be seeing.
That dude, he does that weird thing where he grabs the ball and puts it on the side real quick. And he just swings that John right to the corner. I'm just like,
and
damn.
You're here like, damn, I ain't even see, bro. I ain't even see.
And he'll jump too.
That's why it's not a crazy amount of like high turnovers either, because when they blitz him, he doesn't like panic and pass it quickly. He holds it, and because he's taller, he can read the floor and pass it at the very last time. And then it's like, okay, that's a foul because he was going there, or that's a 3. Like, it really comes down to the role players executing off of it and what shots Boston is going to live with. Honestly, that's what I'm looking at.
So what do you guys think about Kyrie Irving, him having to see Derek White, Drew Holiday, Augie Blanc? Who has that?
Oh no, he is extremely important. Extremely important in this series. Because again, for me, like I'm focused so much on transition because Kyrie all postseason has been the guy to spark that and go and give them another source of offense. If Boston is more so saying, okay, we're gonna guard him as good as we can and put length on him, put Drew there in possessions, White there, then if they're taking that away and they're really playing fast while Dallas is playing slow, they're going to win the math battle in that way. Kyrie is the one who can neutralize that. So I think he matters a lot, ZZ, for sure.
You got to also look at it from a standpoint of like to me, Kyrie Irving is the most important Maverick. Because in my head, I'm like, Luka's going to do Luka, right? Even if Luka has struggle like from the field shooting well, like percentage wise, he's going to get regardless. Like, there's not really much that I think in terms of one-on-one defense that's really going to affect Luka, right? Depending on who they put on him. So for Kyrie, the thought keeps popping into my head of like, Kyrie's 0-10, stumping on Lucky. They're going back into Boston tonight. So I'm sitting here saying, like, you want to talk about going into enemy territory. What are we talking about here? Kyrie Irving is going into like hell itself, knowing that you're about to hear the most racial slurs and everything, like all that, bro. He's so at the end of the like, I'm just thinking to myself, I think
Kyrie locked in, though, you ask me.
He's locked in.
In my head, I'm like, I hope Kyrie has been meditating, looking at like scenery. I hope
he's ready for this. I'm not gonna lie. I think Kyrie is ready.
I think he locked in, Doug.
I think Kyrie's locked in. He's in a setting that they believe in him. He's in a setting that everyone's behind his back. I think him and Luka do a great job of co-leading the unit, and they feed off of each other very well. Mark Cuban behind those guys and really instilled that belief in them. Having people in your corner goes a long way. I think Kyrie's ready, bro. I'm not even going to hold you.
I wouldn't be surprised if Kyrie has that 15, 20-point first quarter. I think he comes out swinging.
But see that right there, though, Dub? Like that is my thing that I love so much about this, right? Because ironically, what I'm looking at for him to do is the same as Jaylen Brown, right? Like make your pace on the game felt, right? Push the ball in transition, get to the free throw line, right? Like provide secondary offense as a guy on the ball consistently, right? Jaylen Brown has done that for the postseason. Now, again,
he's shooting.
Do I believe in him?
Insane.
Yeah, right. And listen, I want to be clear, right? I was one of the people that said that I would not pay Jaylen Brown $300 million. I stand on that. I still would not give him a supermax contract. I'm not folding from that. However, I do have to acknowledge he has performed like a better player after the first 2 months of the season than what he was when he signed the contract. Now we're testing that against a very good defense. And we've seen Jaylen Brown have his flaws get exposed against good defenses. The Heat would be the biggest example of that. But if Jaylen Brown can exercise those demons, you're talking about another guy that can get downhill, who is going to be stronger than a lot of his matchups, especially if they put their best overall defender on Jason Tatum, and a guy that's been actually making the right pass. His processing has been a lot better than I've seen it before in the past. So he is also another big factor too.
I just think a lot of that just, like I say, competition, a lot of that just it appears better because he's just going up against weak comp to me. I just still think he still shows those issues, just not on a larger scale because it's just not on a larger scale because of the defense he's going up against. I think he still has the same flaws. I don't think he really.
And that's why I don't use any of this postseason for my argument, because again, I'm only focused on the growth I saw him take in the regular season, because he started out the year right? Like he was very, very bad. Yeah. And then you saw him take that leap really post All-Star break and was playing out of his mind against even good defenses. So I'm looking at that like, okay, can we get some of that player in this series?
Yeah,
I got you with that.
I think too, like the reason that this series is going to be so interesting for me is because I feel like there's so many chips on so many different star players' shoulders. Like if you really think about it like this:
a lot of legacy
Washington has a chip.
Yeah,
Brittany Renner.
Yeah.
Listen, you're not wrong though.
You're not lying though. He's not lying.
You're not lying at all. No.
At the same time, like Luka is probably going into it with the chip on his shoulder just because Luka gets upset when, like, the fact that I think the Thunder crowd was saying that Luka sucks, and I saw him in that closeout game talking shit after he hit a shot, not to any Thunder player, but to the fans. So
that crowd not moving Luka worth the damn, bro.
You know
we didn't seen the war-torn environments he was hooping at 14, 15, bro.
Yes,
that's not moving him.
It's not moving him. And so for me, that's a player with a chip on the shoulder. Kyrie Irving, don't even get me started, right? Jason Tatum, really don't get me started, because the Tatum slander has been that it all gets higher when Jaylen Brown plays out of his mind. And then Tatum plays more. It always is. That's how it balances out for both of them. And then, of course, Jaylen Brown. He's sitting here saying, hey, look, I'm not going to get the respect I deserve, and I'm cool with it. He's somebody that's not cool with it. So at the end of the day, that Larry Bird MVP, he's going to be taking that into the finals like, all right, bet. I wouldn't be surprised if Tatum and Brown are trying to outshoot each other or outscore each other, because shit, narratives and all that shit is on the line in this
wait, to add to the Luka chip thing, last year when they missed the playoffs, all I heard even before that was Luka's game doesn't translate to winning.
Nasty ass conversations, bro. So nasty, dog.
Bro, that game will never win.
Despicable conversations.
Crazy stuff. Crazy.
They were trying to say he's not a winner.
Because they were taking on purpose.
Bro, bro. Like Luka didn't have some of the greatest playoff performances before that, when he made the phenomenal, right? Exactly. I would say, but the switch up has been crazy though, because now Luka getting all the praises in his.
That's what they do, Jalen. That's what they do, bro. And if
you win, they can't do nothing but do that. You know what I'm saying?
If the Mavericks lose, I guarantee you those conversations will start being randomly.
I think people need to understand that there's different people making those noises, right? The voices was a lot from the same people. Like, it's like this, right?
Yeah.
The people who didn't like Luka when he didn't make the playoffs, they spoke the loudest. You want to know why? Because they didn't like him. Now everyone that likes Luka is giving him praise, and they're speaking the loudest because he's being successful. I think all of that is not people switching up. It's just like, bro, there's millions and millions of people that watch it. So there's going to be millions and millions of people that share a different opinion. So now we're just seeing the different subsections of fans just giving it praise. I don't think anybody switched up. I think whoever didn't like Luka before still don't like him.
I
think the people that like Luka, still like him.
But look at Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne tweeted out Luka a hoe, and then Luka went out there and went stupid in front of Lil Wayne.
He made Lil Wayne a fan. That's what was crazy.
Hey, I'm not gonna say that never happens. It definitely does happen when the motherfucker just, damn, bro, he's just good, bro. You know?
I just can't say shit. I can't like, bro. We've seen him take the bro. I will never forget, and I'm telling you, every year, y'all, it's like tradition for me now. Every year, I booted my league pass around October, November. I cut on that Phoenix Suns Dallas Game 7, dog, and I just watch it in its full glory every time.
That was a crazy.
That was a crazy game, bro. He outscored the Suns in the first half.
I actually picked the Suns to win that, right? And bro, when I just watched them just blow that 3-2 lead and like both of those games just destroy them, I'm tuning into that Game 7 gifted, and literally after the first quarter, I'm like, oh nah. The first quarter, I'm just like, they're done. I'm like, they can't. I was like, the only person that can actually generate a shot was Jay Crowder. Yeah. If you remember that, the only person that was actually getting an open shot was Jay Crowder.
Playoff riser, Jay
could not dribble like
CP3 clamped. Booker
clamped. Yeah, no.
Clamped. Ayton clamped. I'm just like, nah. I said it's over, bro. I said
it was
one of the craziest games I've ever seen.
It was literally just Jay Crowder and then Cam Johnson occasionally, and on the other end, Dallas scored every time. Everyone was getting hot and getting buckets. Like it was up in that series.
Crazy. I remember when he
which
dropped,
was worse.
Who did he drop? Cameron Johnson.
I think Cam Johnson.
I think Cam Johnson.
Which was worse? The blowout in that Game 7, or the blowout that happened with the Timberwolves?
That Game 7, I don't give a.
It's the Suns Game 7.
Game 7 blowout.
I really don't care.
Game 7 blowout is crazy.
And look right. I'll tell you why that's worse. It's worse because they had a 2-0 lead in the series, and they were talking shit. Luka was like, "Don't talk shit when you up, you're not down." And then in that same series, he comes back and takes their soul. And then they get to a Game 7, and it's like, I get what Luka did, but I felt like the team as a whole, like, the energy in that Suns building was gone in the second quarter. Like it was bad, right? At least the Wolves fans was like, all right, maybe we chip a little bit. No, but the Sun series was way worse because they knew it's like, damn, like we won all these games in the regular season and we were fraudulent because that didn't happen in the conference finals. That happened in the second round. Remember, people said the Suns were the best team in the West. They said that if they matched up with a healthy Golden State Warriors, they would have beat the Warriors. So I'm watching as a Warriors fan, waiting like, all right, let's see what happens. And they get their ass mopped up. You know what I'm saying? Like and nah, bro.
Getting mopped in a Game 7 versus Game 5 are two different things. I think with the Dallas one
at home in a Game 7 too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's crazy. The Game 5, we knew Dallas would end up winning that series. They end up having a great Game 5. They did their thing, but that Phoenix wants to go out like that with the expectations. 7.
Yeah. Gifted, you just
because if I tell you that like it's going to a Game 7, that means okay, they got a shot. Like
two close teams going at it.
Yeah,
it's going to be a 4-quarter game. Didn't happen. But hey, shout out to Luka, the Luka supporters, lovers, and the haters. It's all good. But another player who seems just as polarizing these days, maybe more. We're gonna go to the title of the show. Caitlyn Clark, WNBA sensation. Hey, I've never seen a WNBA player trend on Twitter for basically a week straight.
Brittany,
like every day.
Brittany Griner.
Yeah. When she had a situation in Russia for sure. Yeah, but this is more, in the WNBA. Yeah, in the WNBA.
Think about that. And I'm not even trying to throw shade. The hottest topic of the WNBA, like before Caitlyn Clark was.
But they say we lost the trade.
Yo,
they would say we lost the trade on the timeline, Joe. I'm sorry. I seen that, bro. They said we lost the trade, bro.
Didn't we give up a terrorist?
Yes, bro.
Yeah, a weapon supplier.
Yeah, it was a weapon supplier, bro.
It was crazy. But yeah, no, Caitlyn Clark, man. Caitlyn Clark, Rookie of the Month. But the discussion on WNBA, Caitlyn Clark in general, on Twitter is just a cesspool these days. There's so many aspects. One, you have the basketball on-court stuff, which is cool. I think great to talk about. Then you have the stuff outside. I follow a lot of political commentators on both sides, election season, and all that. They're even chiming in with their thing about Caitlyn Clark and the WNBA. And you have all these situations, whether it's racial, sexuality, gender, kind of aspect of that. And you just have so many different opinions coming from so many different spheres on Caitlyn Clark and WNBA. And one way, I was talking to Ron earlier about it too, where it's like sometimes any conversation is good conversation in terms of just being talked about. which is fair too.
Yeah.
I guess like they are being talked about, which is what they wanted, which is fine.
It is any good conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Eh? What do you guys think about this kind of the discourse with Caitlyn Clark, her being such a polarizing figure now? It seems like in American sports culture.
I'm gonna be honest. I think this shit is soft, bro. I'm gonna just be real about it. I feel like people gotta acknowledge that first off, the WNBA is a physical ass league. And I remember literally on Player's Choice, like a year ago, before the W like really popped, they were like, I'm not watching that shit. Like they're women, like they can't like they were saying that on Player's Choice and shit. And I'm like, well, it's actually not too bad to watch. Like it's just a lot of skill, but like they're not as athletic. So like I get that, but because they don't have the same athleticism, the skill in terms of like the strategy matters a lot more in the W, and the physicality on top of that is pretty good. So now that we're here and Caitlyn is getting pushed around, is bad. But I will say this though, it is extremely disingenuous to not act like these girls don't like Caitlyn Clark. They don't like her. There are definitely players that do not like Caitlyn Clark. But I will say the physicality point, I really hate that argument because a lot of people are getting pushed around on a night-to-night basis. It's not just Caitlyn Clark.
Is it do not like, or are they jealous of all the love she's getting too? And no, I get it. Don't be wrong.
This is my thing. This is my thing, Jalen.
If I'm a player,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, if I'm a player, right? She comes in, $28 million from Nike. I'm in the WNBA for 10 plus years. Damn, I can't I understand the resentment. You know what I mean? I'm just like, damn. And then you got every game she played in sold out 18,000 fans. Some of the games that they're playing in, you know, it's cool. They got 8,000, 7,000, like it's going up, but it's not 18,000.
But that's no different than like the Lonzo Ball, Patrick Beverly shit to me though. Like,
hell yeah.
I don't think it's different at all. I think it's the same shit. Like, yeah, like you went this high, people are watching. I want to dominate you. Right? That makes sense to me. I don't think it's like some weird, like, oh, she's white, so that's why they're doing this to her. No, I just feel like they're being physical and they know it's Caitlyn Clark. Some of them don't like her.
I will say, I saw a game when she was down 20 and they were full court pressing her. I haven't seen that in a while. I have not seen that.
That's the Lonzo Ball and Pat. That's the Lonzo Ball and Pat Beverly treatment.
100%.
And like my whole thing is like, number one, what people need to understand is all the old WNBA players that said she was going to struggle, they were absolutely right. Like she's been struggling. Like we just got to be real with that. Not to say that she's not to say, and they didn't say that she wasn't going to be good. They didn't say that she wasn't going to be great. They didn't say that she wasn't going to just. All they said was she was going to come out the gate struggling because it was just a different level of physicality. All of it was facts. It just was. You guys were calling them haters because you just didn't know the sport, didn't watch it.
Exactly.
They were spitting facts, and you guys were wrongfully calling them haters and wrongfully calling them wanting to destroy their own league. But other than that, like Caitlyn Clark's not going through something that not every all-time great in the NBA hasn't gone through. Kareem was marginalized. Bill Russell was marginalized. Wilt Chamberlain was marginalized. LeBron, MJ, Kobe, Lonzo, so many players, even Tim Duncan. Bro, like all of these players were marginalized. So I'm not going to sit here and be like
marginalized off the court. Talked about off the court in the sense of when Angel Reese said Caitlyn Clark is not the only person that's responsible for this. I want to be where they talked about like that.
LeBron James' own teamteammates said they didn't want him there.
That's LeBron's teammates
literally dub.
They didn't want him there.
Hold on. No, they said that. They're like, okay, he's still young. You know, he can't help our teams. I understand this.
But that's what the WNBA players are doing too. They're saying,
hold on. The Angel Reese stuff were her and some of the other players saying that she's not the only reason for this growth. It's different.
And she's not.
The NBA players were talking about basketball stuff. It seems like
I don't know what a lot more. Wait. How come the WNBA players, right? How come they couldn't be correct about what they're saying and still be haters of Caitlyn Clark? Why can't both things be true?
I agree, Gifted. I think the same thing applies. I think there is a disdain and dislike towards her. It just happens with everyone. Like it is what it is. But at the same time, the things they're saying isn't wrong. Like Angel Reese saying she didn't do that by herself. Absolutely right. I think we talked about this last time. Jalen, I said this before. If the hand incident doesn't happen, this shit don't get blown up like this. I'm not gonna lie. Caitlyn Clark wasn't as big as she is until after that happened. I gotta be real with that.
Hero. You want a villain for every hero. It makes the story better.
And Gifted. And that's why I say, like, all of this talk about the WNBA, it's all good publicity.
I think it's good. I think it's good.
Doing
still.
nothing but enhancing the sport. You need somebody to root for, like you need somebody to be against. So the PC. Gifted, I was on there for 15 minutes, right? 15 minutes. They had a 3-hour show. You know who the comments was filled with? My fucking name.
No.
You just need it. You always need that certain character. You always gonna need it no matter where you go. Nobody wants to be up there with fucking everybody. I'll be bored as shit. Such a bitch.
But the one thing that irritates me though is like be honest conversation, and I promise you that this isn't sexist. I'm gonna just keep it a whole band. We focus so much on this shit. They missing wide open fucking layups. And I'm not gonna sitting here watching this game. I'm sitting here watching this game and listen, I'm gonna be so real, right?
Angel Reese is crazy.
We're missing wide open like this. We will be dogging their ass, right?
Yeah,
I feel like if I dog them for missing open layups, you can't like I'm sitting here watching the game. Like, first off, they're doubling the fuck out of Caitlyn Clark. They're being very, very, very physical. But when she's making the right pass, they're missing wide open layups. And then they have the nerve to put out an article that makes it sound like she's a bad teammate. She's jealous. And I'm like, but wait, if Kobe said the same shit, we calling Kobe a GOAT. We saying he's like, you know, oh my God, the mentality. But when Caitlyn does it, it's, oh yeah, she's look, bad teammate, sour, shot chucker. Like, I think people are getting things way twisted out of proportion. And also, I agree, she's struggling for her standards. But for a rookie to come in and average 15 points,
it's tough.
It's pretty big for the WNBA. She's still trending to be a very good player. And also, their schedule has been fucked. I don't know if y'all have been watching like that. They played like 11 games in 19 nights.
Yeah,
like that's ridiculous.
That was strategic, I think, for the WNBA. Just wanted to put her more on TV at the start.
Yeah, well, they want them against the good teams. That way, it's more publicity, you know.
Yeah, true.
And another thing too, like my biggest takeaway from all of this is just for people who thought that Caitlyn Clark was just going to walk into the league after getting drafted #1 overall and completely walk through,
be like the best player or some shit. Like,
this is what the problem is. Y'all thought that Caitlyn was like, y'all literally didn't know shit about the WNBA and didn't care to know about it, right? Until Caitlyn Clark's tearing it up in college and she's about to go to the WNBA. Well, I don't watch the WNBA, so it's shit. So I know she's about to have a cakewalk. No, nigga, no. Do you think honestly
that sounds so crazy? Like, hey, look, I don't watch the WNBA, so I know she's gonna be the best.
Like, bro,
like what?
Like, yo, and then, right? You thought that
Mr. Lou Humble.
That quick swipe earlier.
Yeah, he gotta get that. He gotta get Chill's nuts off his goatee.
Ooh,
go ahead. Go ahead, swipe him. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Read the super chat.
I think her fans makes it hard to like her because some of her fans try to downplay the other WNBA players in the league and some are racist. And see, that's true. But then I could also flip it and say that the Caitlyn Clark haters, a lot of them feel like the attention she's getting is really unjustified. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's like the way she played in college, I definitely understand why her pull is like that. And again, I don't think it's wrong to say that it wasn't just Caitlyn Clark that got the league to where it is today, but it's also dumb to not act like she doesn't have the most pull of any
biggest part. She's the biggest reason for why it's in the jump here.
Both things are true. I feel like people have a big problem with looking at shit and saying, okay, wow, like both of these things can be true. They think, no, it's either left or right. I think it's a blend of both things. And also, again, I'm sounding like a hater, but are we going to be honest about Angel Reese?
Wait, what about number one? Wait, before you get there, Brandon Katz. What's the girl? Kelsey Plum is straight as hell, and they love her. Like, shut up.
Yeah, fact. Kelsey Plum.
Shut up. But go ahead.
And post her like left and right.
No, don't come for Angel Reese. Listen. She's a defender. She's a rebounder.
It's all about her role.
That's her job.
I will say, Dub.
That's her job.
One of my boys actually told me this even back during March Madness. One of my boys was like, "Hey, yo, Angel Reese's ass," and I was like, "Yo, come on now." And I was like, "You see, she be getting them double doubles and shit. Like she out there on her Tim Duncan shit when she needed to be." And I was like, the one thing that I will say about her game that is interesting to watch is sometimes, most of the time, I'm not gonna lie, she be getting like the points that she gets are like her own second chance points or third chance points. You see what I'm saying? Like she be getting one
She doesn't have
offensive
an offensive bag. She has no offensive
No. Let me handle this.
Go ahead.
Because I'm prepared.
Go
I'm
ahead.
prepared for this shit.
I'm
So 96% of Angel Reese's shots are at the
my
basket.
God. Okay.
96%. Can anyone guess what she's shooting from the field?
Probably
I
like
actually
96% are at the basket.
Probably like
30,
40%.
37%, right?
33%.
Yeah, that's not, hey, she doing a lot of
33%. 96% of her shots are twos. Now, here's my thing, right? Angel Reese is averaging 10 points a game, 9 rebounds, 1.8 assists. Who averages more defensive rebounds, Caitlyn Clark or Angel Reese?
Angel Reese.
Caitlyn Clark.
That's
Wait,
crazy.
what?
That's crazy.
Caitlyn Clark
Caitlyn
averages more
averages
defensive rebounds. Yes. Now, what makes Angel Reese crazy is she's averaging 5 offensive rebounds.
See?
But when you're shooting 33% from
She's
2,
grabbing her own misses.
she's grabbing her own shit.
Exactly. I told
So
you.
that's one thing. That's one thing. Now, people say Caitlyn Clark is struggling.
Mhm.
Caitlyn Clark is shooting the majority of her shit from 3. She's shooting 35% from 3. No, sorry.
Pretty good.
No. I lied. 35% from the field, 29% from 3. Her threes have fallen. Now, granted, a lot of that is because she just shot 1 for 10 with like 3 points in her last game. That was like her worst game of the whole shit so far. But basically, the coverages she's seeing in terms of trying to create on ball from the perimeter in her situation, which is awful. Again, niggas is missing wide open layups. I'm watching it.
There's a Kate Cunningham instance.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. No. Unironically, yes. And she's still giving you 15, 5, and 5 as a rookie. So to me, it's like, okay, who's played more competition so far? Caitlyn Clark. Who's in a similarly bad environment for her play style? Caitlyn Clark.
Yep.
And we're saying Caitlyn Clark is struggling, but for some people, they think Angel Reese has been the best rookie of the season.
Oh,
no.
ESPN said Cameron Brink. ESPN said Cameron Brink.
Yeah, Cameron Brink has to be.
Hold on. Let me read it to you.
Cameron Brink has not been better than Caitlyn Clark, though.
Let me read it to you.
No, she has. She's been phenomenal.
I think there's an argument you can make for Cameron Brink. I don't think that's crazy.
The thing with Caitlyn is
the defense she's providing.
Look at the team she's playing around.
But her defense is elite.
But Cameron Brink's defense is looking a lot better than Angel Reese's.
Look at that team. Look at the teams they're playing with, though. Like she gets to play next.
To be fair, though, Cameron Brink be fouling out a lot, though.
She do.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, bro. I mean, Caitlyn Clark got mad turnovers, so like they all got their flaws.
Okay, but Dub, listen, I've been locked the fuck in.
Okay,
and I promise you. Listen, I promise you after the finals, I'm locking in 2 times, right? I'm watching the shit, and it's like, wait a minute. Open pass? How the fuck you drop that? Caitlyn Clark turnover. And it's like, all right, bro, low key, if it was like taken differently, like it's not always your fault. And then again, it's not like open threes, Dub, right at the rim, layup. She be averaging 8 or 9 assists.
I'm not gonna attest that. You probably did watch more than me, so I'm not gonna say.
I believe it to 100%. I believe
Dub. I am going to make a compilation video of this shit. Like y'all got to see it. I'm literally going to take time this weekend to put together a compilation of the shit I've been seeing.
Let's do it on
y'all gonna see.
Let's do it on
yes. I'm with that on Sunday. I'm so with that on Sunday.
Big Ox Bob said he passed the ball behind her teammates, man.
No, but that's not crazy. I don't think she's like a perfect player. She does make her mistakes. I'm just saying the way her shit looks, a lot of it isn't just always her fault.
Her teammates aren't doing her any favors. The coach, hey, Christy, got love for you. You're gone after this year. She's 100% gone after this year.
I can't say that because again, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I just began like watching league now. But
I'll tell you, we see the reports. She's out of
see.
here. But I will say this.
The reports are telling you.
Yeah. I will say this though too. With
word.
The Caitlyn Clark thing. The whole reason they're marketing her, pushing, and all that. You don't have to be the best player in the league for you to be marketed or pushed. She just has a fan base that love her. Like I'm seeing.
She created that fan base.
Yeah, 100%. I'm seeing hundreds of little girls at her away games waiting to take pictures with their lineup. You know what I mean? They're super excited.
You know why? It's because she pushed herself. Like she's big on TikTok and everything, and her own media platforms.
100%. That she just made herself. Her play style. Like her play style is entertaining. right? It
Nah,
just
she
works
did her
out.
thing, Gifted.
Yeah,
Like,
and don't get me wrong,
like
there's
she
other
capitalized
girls.
so much.
didn't know
on
that.
Incident.
Yeah, but
Nah,
the thing is,
she's been so
Doug,
big on
Word,
social
okay.
media.
There's other girls who are even bigger on social media, like Cameron Brink posts more and all.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
she
they're
just-
going
Cameron
crazy
Brink's
right
gonna
now.
get whatever. Like,
Yeah, but some
Yeah.
people just have it. Like she just has the it factor to allow those viewers. and
She
that's
has personality.
100%.
So
I
here's
mean,
the
do I
thing.
think she
I
has
think-
the craziest personality? No, I think she's very likable. She doesn't say anything crazy. She's never been disrespectful towards any of these. All the comments that come to her, I've never seen her say anything crazy.
They don't like her. You
Yeah.
know what it is? And I guarantee you this is what it is. They don't like her speech pattern. And that's why whatever she says gets like misinterpreted as if she's being disrespectful and rude. Nah, that's just how she just has a speech pattern
I know what
that's
you're
just
saying.
like that a lot of people would like get the wrong vibe for. I really just it's so funny, Gifted guys and everybody. At work, the same thing happened at my boss. He was having a conversation with somebody from California. He was like, yo, I'm just sensing a lot of hostility over here. And then my boss, he sounds like this. Well, yeah, no hostility over here. I mean, just talking. Bro, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Like, so people, I wholeheartedly believe that the disdain towards Angel Reese is all about her speech pattern and how she talks. Motherfuckers don't know how to read between the lines, bro. They just go with what sounds right.
That's why I say again with the whole the talk on Twitter and even online too. Yeah, I'll say play. He ain't playing with Brandon. Shout out Brandon, man. He's out here. I will say the whole racial component. I will say this: America is 60% or 65% white. Right? That's just
that shit going down. It's been skyrocketing.
Yeah, it's going down, right? So it's like 60%. And if you look at it's right, and if you look at the demographic of people who watch the WNBA, I want to say it still is predominantly white. Look it up, but it along those same figures. So it's just easier for companies to market. They feel it's more effective. That Clark. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Go to sleep.
Like, Brandon don't watch no basketball at all, bro.
He ain't saying that.
I like Caitlyn.
Caitlyn more marketable, sure, but she ain't better than Sabrina. We got to chill out, Brandon. We got to chill out.
The disrespect.
Yeah, we got to chill out. Well, I'm just saying. So as a business, they're gonna do what the consumers want. They're gonna push her. Now, do I think WNBA needs to do a better job of pushing a girl like Asia Wilson, who literally is on track to having a GOAT resume of WNBA and women's
bro, Asia been hooping her ass off this whole season, bro. She's cooking.
I don't know how she don't get marked. That girl is
she's nice, man.
They need to figure out a way.
Bam is winning, bro.
Let's talk about our basketball ability.
Bam is winning, Dub.
They got to figure out a way to market and push her because she's the real deal, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But again, with Caitlyn Clark, you're gonna keep on pushing because the numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. If you look at the attendance record, I think I just saw this tweet the other day. The attendance, it's almost like 200-300% for her games have gone up. More. It's insane. Like I've never seen a player in any sport in a long time jump. Like literally, last time I've seen numbers jump like that.
They are packing out arenas with Caitlyn Clark in them like that.
And
that's the thing, bro.
Like
and the team is trash.
And the team,
listen, and the team is 30 ball, but they in there rooting.
Caitlyn.
Yeah.
Let me read off. Let me read off the top 7 from that ESPN list for the rookie class. So Cameron Brink is number 1, like I told you. Angel Reese is number 2. Number 3 is Kate Martin. Number 4, Rakia Jackson. She's cold. Number 5, Julie Van Loo. Number 6, Caitlyn Clark. Number 7, Aaliyah Edwards. That's the top 7. So Caitlyn Clark is ranked number 6 in the top 7 for ESPN for the rookie class for the WNBA season this year.
And see, that's crazy to me because there's not people that have her responsibility
100%
and are performing. She's giving you 15, 5, and 5. Rookies don't do that shit in the WNBA. So, I don't get that for real, but it's cool.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Hey, shout out to WNBA, Caitlyn Clark, man. The growth continues. It'll be a fun season. We'll see, who ends up winning. Shout out Asia Wilson, best player in the league without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to, we got the coaching search for the Lakers with a big curveball. Big curveball. Everyone expected JJ Redick to get the job. I thought we got.
I can't wait to talk about this. I can't wait.
Shout out my guy JJ Redick, man. But then you got the UConn legend of a coach, back-to-back national championship, Dan Hurley, who was actually on JJ's podcast before.
He was
breaking down basketball. Actually, really smart dude. The way he plays basketball, I actually think that'd be a great hire. But he's now seems like the favorite. So the Lakers kind of making a play to really build the culture, change it up, bringing a guy Dan Hurley again, who's built a phenomenal culture UConn doing this thing there. What do you guys think?
He ain't going. He ain't taking that shit.
Man, listen,
Hurley's
before we do
He
any of that,
ain't taking that shit.
I don't even care who become the coach. The funniest shit this morning that happened in our group chat, y'all. We have a group chat from the logo. And I'm telling you right now, I woke up at like 7 a.m. and it was like a Woj bomb at 7 a.m. And I'm seeing this shit. It's like, wait a minute. Shan was like, the Lakers are zeroing in on Reddit. And the Woj out of nowhere it says, it's Dan Hurley. I'm like, oh my God, Woj just dropped Meet the Grams on Shams. Meet the Shams. It was Meet the Shams this morning because it's like, oh my God, did Shams just get cooked by Woj?
Yeah, that's tough.
Like,
That is tough.
that was tough. Oh, that was tough.
Sham's been reporting this for weeks.
And
then Woj comes in. Nah, it's Dan Hurley.
It's crazy. Let's see how this turns out.
Yeah, don't matter what you're saying, buddy. It's Dan Hurley. Let's be real. But hey, I mean, listen, this is a guy where Dan Hurley in the offense, he's been being able to provide for UConn with not even like a lot of eye-popping players. I mean, I think this is great for the Lakers if they sign him. I think he's somebody that definitely could add a different dynamic to that crew and really unlock some offense on that crew that is desperately needing for that, right? So,
yeah,
hey, man, I think Dan Hurley is definitely the guy to go. But even then, people saying like LeBron don't like this, y'all do realize LeBron's very big on Dan Hurley.
Yeah.
He loves Dan Hurley.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know why.
Who said that?
Coach LeBron.
People are like, just because it's not JJ Redick, you know.
I don't think, I personally don't think Hurley's going to take the job because I think that.
Why?
Because.
Trying to be the first coach to win 3 straight since John Wooden?
That's not going to happen. You know that's not going to stop.
Hey, Mike, you never know.
But anyway, the reason that I don't think he's going to take the job is just from the long-term aspect of it. But the reason that I feel like they're looking to hire him is because, like you just said, they're looking for somebody to essentially be there after LeBron is gone to keep the Lakers afloat or put them into some phenomenal basketball organization.
They're tired of these short-term coaches.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what it is. That's the only reason why I was like, now that's smart. However, I'm looking at Dan Hurley and I'm like, bro, coaching college players is significantly different than coaching NBA players. You've seen a lot of different times throughout NBA history. For example, Coach K in 2004 got offered, I think, 5 years, 40 million. Yeah. Which at the time is insane for 2004, especially for a head coach to get. And he turned that shit down. Why? Because he didn't want to sit there and deal with a bunch of grown men, especially on the Los Angeles Lakers. And it was the Lakers that literally offered him a job. You have Kobe, Shaq, right? Gary Payton at one point, and Karl Malone. Like, he's like, nah, I'm good on that. And Dan Hurley's probably looking at this like, all right, if I hop on, if I become the head coach, then all right, I'm dealing with LeBron's retirement tour. I'm dealing with Anthony Davis, right, as the guy that essentially the organization is going to look to continue to build around for the future. And I'm also dealing with potentially LeBron's son. Nah, like I just don't think he's gonna want to deal with all that, right? So I think JJ Redick's probably gonna end up with the job still throughout all of this. I genuinely think.
My thing is I actually don't think your point right there is easy as bad. I don't think it's bad perspective because I actually agree where when you're a coach, it's so much easier to coach when everyone just fucking shuts the fuck up
and listens.
Like, bro,
100%.
And that's the thing. Like, and that was my issue with JJ being the coach because they were talking about adding Rondo and all these other guys. I'm like, bro, that's too many chefs in the kitchen that has a voice to say, bro, this is weird. Like I said, that was going to be the closest thing we'll see to like players coaching themselves because essentially, like JJ's 39 years old, the same age as LeBron James. Rondo's like what 41? Like he was just playing with LeBron. Like that's basically the players just coaching themselves. They didn't leave the league that too long ago, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, but this is where like I mean LeBron, if you get a coach like Dan Hurley, I'm not gonna lie, you better shut the fuck up and listen to that man.
For real.
That's too. Like if they get Dan Hurley, he needs to shut the hell up and just listen to whatever
everybody do.
I think with Dan Hurley, the thing that makes it very, very intriguing for me is I just like how it's no perceived ties because AD wanted Borrego. It wasn't quite clear in terms of who LeBron wanted. You can argue JJ. I just feel like with Dan Hurley specifically, because he's actually ran a system in college and had success twice over, even though he hasn't coached any NBA basketball, the experience at coaching at a high level is there. It's extremely hard to win with a young group in college, not once but twice. That is a very difficult thing for you to do.
And he got swag too. I'm not gonna lie. Be watching that motherfucker got some swagger to him, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at him.
And a lot of players in the NBA respect him. So that level is there.
I do think he will get respected, and they will listen to what he has to say.
Yeah,
because think about it. You took an offense. You took players that shouldn't have been the best offense in the league, and you made them that. Yeah, like I think that goes a long way to how your game can translate to.
And the biggest thing I read up on with him too is they said that like once he found something that worked in like his basic offensive scheme, he didn't feel bad about consistently going at it. I think the biggest problem with Darvin Ham is he would find results, be like, "Oh, that works. I'll try that shit again in 5 games," instead of spamming it in the games where like, okay, we're losing. Like, let's go back to what was working. Dan Hurley will do that. And if anything, I actually think what might happen is Dan Hurley might get the job and JJ might become the assistant. And that makes a lot more sense to me.
Okay. I don't think that would be bad. I think that would be a more favorable.
I think that's more solid to me.
Yeah, I like that.
My whole thing is Lakers lose a game, about to do a pod.
That's awkward. Yes, facts. That'd be awkward. If he's the assistant,
to play devil's advocate. I mean, Draymond Green literally does the same thing, so it should be fun.
He does.
Yeah,
I do think the podcast would continue if JJ was an assistant coach because I feel like he's not going to outwardly get blamed for things as much because he's an assistant. He's not like the actual coach in charge of the whole shit. So I think it would stay. If JJ still becomes the coach, I do want to say though, like, close your eyes and just hear everything I tell you and tell me this shit does not sound like a fucking reality TV show. The second best player of all time is playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. He's 39 years old. The Lakers are planning on drafting his child, who is not an NBA player.
The Lakers, storied franchise.
Yes. They're going to use resources. Then their answer to what they have to do in the offseason, instead of trading for Kyrie Irving, they chose to keep D'Angelo Russell, who's going to opt out and be fucking gone. They chose to keep Rui Hachimura as well, instead of trading for Kyrie to have with Kyrie, LeBron, and Anthony Davis. They fire a rookie head coach who had never coached before at the head coach spot in the NBA. And then they pivot to signing another rookie head coach who hasn't coached anything, but has a podcast with LeBron James at the time. Now, if all that happens, don't that sound like a team that's not trying to win shit?
All the decisions the Lakers have made.
It sounds like they just want to play with their friends.
All the decisions the Lakers have made.
I agree, though.
All the decisions the Lakers have made post the Anthony Davis trade have been questionable, without a doubt. Even the year after signing Montrezl Harrell, Schroeder.
But you want to know? Wait,
that wasn't. No, that was not bad.
Schroeder was bad.
Montrezl Harrell though was low.
Montrezl Harrell was running for 6th man of the year candidate that year, but then everyone got hurt.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
He was 6th man of the year before.
That was in 2020. That was in 20 the year.
I don't think Montrezl was a bad swing or anything.
I don't know. They were favorite. They were favored to win the chip, even while
AD got hurt. I know AD got hurt.
Schroeder was going crazy. Harrell was playing like a 6th man of the year. Those were not bad signings. I think everything after 2021 was terrible.
I don't think Harrell was playing 6 man.
Everything got bad when they got Russ. I said when they got Russ, and
if they got DeRozan, they could have even made it work. I think
DeMar DeRozan wasn't going to work. Stop saying that.
It would have been a better fit.
I don't think that shit would have worked
either.
No,
it wasn't. No, like y'all don't. Think about it. Listen. Russ was averaging a triple-double before LeBron. Okay, he was averaging a triple-double. Everyone was like, "Oh man, he's really playing well with Bradley Beal and the Wizards, right?"
Yep.
And then he gets on the Lakers. His role diminishes. He's not going to put on those same stats. So
and they don't have the shooters either.
Yeah, the shooters well.
Yeah.
But the perception of him is going to be bad because of that. DeMar DeRozan is not having that MVP Wilt shit that he was having on the Bulls.
No, he's not.
And y'all will be criticizing him a lot.
He's a better shooter, better off-ball player. He's better to play alongside LeBron and AD.
I see Jalen's point.
Let me ask you this.
But he wouldn't have had none of that same value, though. You know that.
DeMar DeRozan won. Needs the ball in his fucking hands. That's one.
He does.
Number
Good
two,
off-ball player.
he's not a great spot up shooter. Let's be real with that.
Yeah.
You trust Darvin Ham and Frank Vogel to run up some offensive plays to put DeMar, LeBron, and AD in some actions, get them involved? Fuck no. The hell are we talking about?
Why
I
is
think- no,
DeMar?
no, no.
Wait. Why is DeMar a good off-ball player to you, Jalen? Can you tell me what does he do well off the ball to you?
I think he's great at cutting to the basket and playing with the guy LeBron James. He's gonna fight him every single time. Good at
Oh, he's
finishing
great
above
at
the
cutting
rim.
to the basket.
100%.
You do.
Wait,
Russ is
great at
amazing
finishing
at cutting
above
to
the
the
rim.
basket.
Yeah,
Way better than DeMar DeRozan.
No, I just think. Hold on.
Well, not that year.
DeRozan made way better decisions. Yeah, especially
No,
not
yes,
that
he
year.
is.
And
No,
hold on.
yes, he still
That
is.
year
That
too,
team
DeMar
is not
DeRozan.
consistent.
But DeMar DeRozan that year was actually a good 3-point shooter, especially a good spot up 3-point shooter. Let me bring up the numbers.
His
A
3-point
very
numbers-
good three-point shooter. Are we
No, I was-
serious?
He wasn't a very good 3-point shooter, but he for that season it was respectable for a 3-point shooter of his
21,
level,
22.
if you will.
Okay, but the problem with that is
This
we're
man
talking about a
shot-
Bulls DeMar DeRozan
no,
that had
no,
the
no,
ball in
no.
his hands.
Gifted.
35%, only at 1.9.
This man
1.9.
shot 2 threes for 35%.
Yeah,
That
we're
ain't even
not counting that shit,
average,
bro.
bro.
It's not even volume. It's not even high
Look,
enough
look,
volume for me to
look,
care.
look at his
Let it
previous
shout,
year.
hold
Look
on.
at his previous
So
year.
35% from 3, 50% from the field.
How many attempts? How many attempts? How many
That's
attempts?
not
No,
even league
stop.
average.
How many attempts for
Jalen.
three? Huh?
Oh, only two. But hold on. I'm about to say
Wait. He shot 35% for three on
That's fine.
2 attempts.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is guarding him?
Hold on.
I'm still not guarding him.
50%.
Hey, shit.
Nigga had some game winners. Nigga had some game winners off some things. That's all I'm saying.
50% from the field.
That's
That
true.
mid-range was deadly. The mid-range was deadly. That
Yes,
mid-range
off
would
of
have been-
pull-ups.
Off of
Not
pull-up
spot
minis.
ups.
Hold on, catch and shoot, pull up, catch and shoot.
Bro, he
pull-up,
did
don't
that shot
fall,
50% on pull-up minis that season. Like that's why
Well,
he
how do
was
I
such a
check?
bucket that year.
If it help me on NBA.com, how do I can share my screen?
You're
How do I
telling me
look-
that they would not have been
Uh,
better.
percentages?
Hold on.
How I look-
I can guide you X real quick through it.
You tell me they would not have been better with DeMar DeRozan over Russell Westbrook?
I'm just saying, what needle is that
That's
moving? Like,
Help me out.
oh, sure, they're better. Okay,
The top 4 seed.
Can't see a damn.
okay, Dub, go down to where it says traditional.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Go to shooting.
Oh, this is cool as shit. Only
Okay,
get
not-
shots from the logo.
Ah, okay,
All right, no, right
okay.
here. See that right there? So it says bank shot, dunk, fader. It should say jump shot down there.
Oh yeah,
Jump shot
Brandon
here.
Katz took it. DeRozan was playing off ball in Chicago. Talk about it, Brandon.
So if you keep scrolling down, I think pull up is down there
I
somewhere.
didn't
If you keep on going down.
Okay. I see jump shot.
Cook,
Jump shot.
Brandon.
Right there.
Okay, so look on jump shots. These are pull-up jump shots. These are just jump shots right here, not pull-ups. Jump shots. He was 35%. Oh my god.
Good at finishing at the rim. Well, we should hold on. Time out.
Do you see how Jada's flipped that?
Time out.
Crazy.
Hold on. If he's shooting 50% from the field, 35 from there, 35 from 3, and 35 from pull-up.
Wait a minute, Dub, real quick. What season is this for DeRozan?
Yeah, are we doing it right?
Oh shit, my bad.
Yeah,
I think it's from this year.
21,
year.
22. Come on now. 21.
Because damn, I'm about to say Jalen was cooked
Yeah,
like a
hold up.
motherfucker.
Wait, yeah, that don't make no sense. Numbers weren't adding up. 21, 22.
All right, let me go. Here we go.
Mhm.
Yeah, so his
Pull up jumper.
Bro, look.
50%.
Yeah, the pull-up was
Bro.
50.
Talk
This
about
is-
he was good.
Talk
He
about
shot
it.
50%
Talk
for pull
about
up.
it.
He shot.
Talk about
What do you
it.
mean? Talk about it.
36% on jump shots.
He shot
dog.
1% higher on jump shots from mid range, and then the 3-point was still 34.
What's that
What are we
50?
talking about?
Pull up jump shot 50 though.
Bro,
Yeah,
we told you he was a
Pull
good
up as in the
pull-up
ball
shot.
is in my hands. I'm pulling up with
Can we-
confidence because I have the
can we-
ball in my
hold on.
hands. Yes, he shot 50
Okay.
on pull-ups, 36 on regular jumpers. You're still
But
incorrect.
Can we understand him shooting that from pull up jumper? You're telling me when LeBron
Oh,
doesn't have the ball.
By the
when
way,
LeBron doesn't have the ball in his hands.
I deserve my credit because I knew he shot 50% on pull-ups off the
I'ma
top
give
of
you
my
that.
head.
I'ma give you
I
that. I'ma
knew
give
it.
you
Give this credit.
Oh,
W
yeah,
I'm
gifted.
gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you that.
W gifted.
Yeah,
W
I'm just
gifted.
saying, for all that, you're telling me they wouldn't have been better with DeRozan? I think they would have been a top 4, top 5 seed.
Jalen, let me.
What needle does it move? They would not.
He's
be no
not
damn
a
top
great
4, top
defender.
5.
He's
No.
not a great defender.
Russ.
He's a bad defender. He's not a good spot up shooter. He's not a good 3-point shooter. He's not a good spot up mid range shooter. He's not as athletic as bro. What the hell? What does he provide to that team?
The only thing that he provides,
touch
God
on LeBron and
damn,
everyone there.
Jalen,
What?
let me go.
He's not even a better passer and distributor. 80 was
I don't-
feasting
Nah.
because of Russ's dump offs.
You're right, and that was mainly when LeBron was hurt, though. Keep it a buck. But
So
The
what do you
one
think
thing I will
DeMar
say-
doing?
look, Dub. look, just try to hear him out. I'm trying to play devil's advocate mainly because I think if they get DeMar DeRozan, they still not winning the championship, so it don't really matter. But
but that's the point of our conversation. Like, oh, they could have got DeMar. So
if they got DeMar DeRozan, do they miss the playoffs?
They definitely don't miss the playoffs. If you think they miss the playoffs, that's crazy.
That's the question that we should be having because they missed the fucking playoffs. Like, Russ was that damn bad, shooting worse than tour dates every single night. You mean to tell me that DeMar DeRozan, right? Think about it. Russell Westbrook cost the Lakers some games in the clutch that regular season. I remember.
I agree.
You replace Russ in the clutch with DeMar DeRozan. That doesn't move the needle a little bit.
Why is the ball guaranteed to go to DeMar on a team?
You think that LeBron James wouldn't trust the DeMar DeRozan in the clutch, and LeBron always makes the right play.
Right? Why is LeBron giving DeMar the ball to decide the game in the clutch, though?
Look,
not all the time. I think he'll pass to his teammate though. If it's the right,
you don't think he gave it to Danny Green, gave it to KCP. The nigga to get the ball.
No. Let's be clear, because that is a bad comparison. You want to know why? Because those are shooters. He gives them the ball, they shoot the ball. I'm saying give the ball to DeMar. Hey, dictate this possession and take the shot or really create offense. No, DeMar DeRozan is a pull-up jump shooter against.
He let Austin Reeves do that sometimes. There's not times you let Austin Reeves handle
the all right, Jalen, I ain't gonna lie. I'm just kept right now. I have seen LeBron get a ball to Austin Reeves.
It's not about LeBron giving him the ball. It's about playing next to LeBron.
It's about playing next to LeBron for the whole game.
If you don't have guys that are at least bare minimum serviceable from three, especially on that Lakers crew who didn't have anyone else, it's going to be bad no matter what else.
So here's my point. I remember saying that season, right? Because there was a point for a little bit where LeBron was the best 3-point shooter on the Lakers, and I remember saying
that's for this year,
when
Russ wasn't there.
And I remember saying, if LeBron James is your best 3-point shooter, you're cooked.
That's the same thing, actually. That's
right. So I was like,
right.
Championships, all this shit's out the window. So listen, once again, let me reiterate: DeMar DeRozan over Russell Westbrook. They're still not winning a championship. Do I think they make the playoffs at least?
No.
Maybe even the play-in.
They're still terrible. And people are cooking DeMar the same way they were cooking Russ. They're cooking them the same exact way. It's probably going to be worse for DeMar because we know the mentality he has. He's going to fucking fold up under the pressure just as bad or even worse than Russell Westbrook. What are we talking about? It's the same dude that had a better team versus LeBron James and went to a shell of himself in the postseason and forgot how to play basketball.
What does that have to do with him being his teammate? You think
because
LeBron, I'm here.
What do you think happens when you're LeBron's teammate? Pressure comes when you're LeBron's teammate. And DeMar has shown he's not been able to handle that shit.
Let me get this straight. DeMar DeRozan, right? Russell Westbrook, right? You're telling me that DeMar would have played worse than
it would have been. I'm saying it would have been equally as bad.
Okay,
that's crazy.
But even then, AD's not performing the way he's performing with DeMar because Russ is giving so many good.
No. That is the strongest point Doug just made right there.
That is.
I don't give a fuck what you think DeMar DeRozan is going to do. Russ, while he struggled a lot with self-creation, with the shooting, all that, he objectively was a great fit for Anthony Davis. Objectively.
He was.
If you're putting DeMar in that spot, DeMar is not maximizing Anthony Davis. And to me, that probably matters most because AD is like 1A, 1B on that team.
I see what
that matters.
I see what you're saying. And look, like I said before, I hopped in to play devil's advocate. You just won the argument with that point right there, Dub. You just won everything.
That's
the point right there.
That was
the point. That was the biggest point right there. Because look, Russell Westbrook, I remember distinctively when LeBron was hurt, right? I think it was like in December of that year. Russ and AD were cooking together, like in LeBron's absence. Cooking together. I was like, okay, this is a duo now.
They were cooking up.
Russ got more freedom on the court. LeBron ain't there, breathing down the nigga neck. Yeah, bro, go ahead and dump it off to AD. This is better than Steven Adams, nigga. Yeah, go ahead. They was cooking together. So I see your point on that. Dub just won the argument right there with that.
By the way, like I'm gonna call out Brandon again because he just be saying dumb shit. I just want to point this out, right? He said that's a trash take. Westbrook and Davis are both horrible 3-point shooters.
Oh my
You
god!
do realize DeMar DeRozan and Anthony Davis are both horrible 3-point shooters, and DeRozan is not playmaking with AD off of screens. He's taking that pull up more often than not. Russ is going to actually get AD the ball. There's many games. Literally, the game they played against Washington where he almost had 50 points. Russ was getting him passes in transition and getting him easy looks. Like I don't understand this.
Russ literally played with Steven Adams.
That's wrong.
I mean,
in
you can say DeMar's
2016
a
with
better
no one,
shooter overall.
with no one
but yeah,
else,
good
and
point.
he was just fiending off of dump offs to Steven Adams, and even then, his cancer. You tell me he wasn't doing that shit with AD? Like, what the hell are we talking
That's what
about?
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I'll give it that. But moving on, we got about 10 minutes left. To another topic.
Yeah, we
DeMar has approved as a 3-point. Oh my god.
DeMar's a better shooter than Westbrook, though. But moving on to another
Not
topic
saying
that
much of anything. That's a low bar.
a topic that's
Oh
been
my
discussed this week
God.
from Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas. What are we thinking about his Steph Curry versus Allen Iverson kind of argument? How he's not even better.
Completely.
Allen Iverson.
I
You
Can't
gotta
guard
say
him or
nothing
something.
for real.
You've been watching my channel? I literally made a video about
Oh,
that.
you-
Literally
I
yesterday.
think I might have seen it. Might have seen that, but I haven't watched it though.
Nah,
But
yeah, it was
also-
complete. Oh, go ahead.
But also the generational talent versus player discussion that they also had. I think someone else said that generational talent versus generational
Yeah,
player.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
which I actually kinda agree
generational
with that
talent,
one.
the generational talent thing, I can actually more understand, especially with like how I know NFL and NBA scouts, because talking to them, how they actually categorize that term right there in generational talent. They categorize it mainly as like your physical gifts, and with your physical gifts, how you're playing out of the ordinary, right? So guys like Victor, Giannis, KD, LeBron,
yeah.
Magic, even Kareem, like they are crazy builds and they're playing in a crazy different way that's not normal. That's more of what a generational talent is, because you can't teach somebody to be like LeBron.
Facts.
You can't teach somebody to be
Right.
like Magic or Wemby, right? You can't teach that. Now, maybe you have more success of maybe teach somebody how to be a shooter like Steph, but I think he's a generational shooter, right? But at the same time, I can understand the premise of what he's talking about in generational talent when he's alluding to the physical tools.
I might disagree with it, but I can at least understand it if you just like are only doing physicals. I do think that's kind of dumb to limit who is a generational talent just to your athleticism, though, because depth, overall perception, shooting touch, and feel, like a lot of those things you can't just train anyone, especially on like the volume and the efficiency of the shooting. I think at that point, when you're so clear of everyone else at that, you are generational, in my opinion. But
I understand that point as well. Like I understand that wholeheartedly. But again, it's just matters of like how people are defining it. You know,
right.
But, so I'm not mad at Gil because I can understand that train of thought perfectly. But when he's talking about Allen Iverson and shit, I thought that was just completely disingenuous. Like it was just so disingenuous, bro. Like
a lot of players agreed. A lot of players,
bro. You're telling me Steph played in a Raptors series without KD and Clay, was still hooping against a great defense. And it's like, and like people are just like discounting that. Like you don't think that Stephen Curry could go out in playoff games, shoot 33 from the field, shoot 33 from 3, and the team's still able to win when you're holding teams to like under 80 points, under 90 points. Like, come on, bro. That's just so fucked up. Like, that's just so messed up to me. Now, if they said anything to allude to the fact, like, because of his athleticism, he's able to be out on the floor that long to stay the offensive hub, and like he's not more likely to be injured because Steph does have injury concerns. Yeah, I can understand that as to why they don't make the finals. But we're talking about they playing the same amount of minutes and taking up the same amount of shots. Like, come on, bro. Like, I could ask Stephen Curry to go out there, run off some screens, shoot some threes, be inefficient, but just be that hub of an offense. Just keep shooting that hoe. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's just so wrong to me, bro. I thought that was so disingenuous.
Like, so like, I'm of the mindset where like I just don't really entertain Gilbert Arenas because he has admitted that he just be saying shit for clicks. Like he literally said it during a long form podcast.
Which works.
I don't know.
That it works.
Yeah, that's fine. But since this is the topic, I do
I
want to
think
say like,
everybody says stuff. He said at times. I think everybody says stuff sometimes.
Yeah, but he
And not
says
for-
it too many times.
Just
That's
for the content.
like
Just for the
it's
content.
listen, it's been like a very task couple of days. But anyway, Gilbert
Mhm.
specifically said Steph has never seen the most attention on the team. He literally said that he wasn't tripled. And I'm like, okay, so you realize like you're just lying.
Well, he
'cause
didn't
can
say most
literally-
attention. He was talking about 4 or 5.
Yeah, he said 4 or 5.
He preferenced
But literally,
4 and 5.
literally
do
on
remember
Twitter,
that
though. Literally on
wholeheartedly.
Twitter, someone posted a video of Steph with like 3-4 guys.
Yeah,
but that
you
was also
see-
cap. And then I said on the video, I was like, bro, even then, let's say when he had KD, teams literally told you that they were doubling and tripling Steph
Yes,
more
bro.
than Kevin Durant because
And
they
that's
were
what-
so worried about
yeah.
him. So they were
Exactly.
even doing that with Steph, even while Kevin Durant was on his squad, which shows you how much people
Exactly.
were scared of that dude.
Literally,
Exactly.
Tyronn Lue was saying that too. Like he
Yeah.
literally said in the finals, we got to cut that off. And
That's what, yeah, exactly. Go
yeah,
ahead.
and like I'm just saying, for you to say that to me is like there's really no convo to have because if we can't agree that, like I've seen people double and triple Steph off the ball,
Yes,
he ain't even got it.
Gifted.
So
You just
like
reminded
I
me.
don't understand you.
You just reminded me. I remember there was a game. It was it was whatever game that Draymond shot. It was in 2021. It was whatever game that Draymond shot that half court shot with like 4 seconds left. Whatever that game was in the regular
that was
season.
versus Charlotte.
Maybe I don't remember. I
Maybe.
just remember distinctively watching the end of that game. Steph was being double teamed beyond half court on the baseline of the the opposing baseline. Their basket's down here. They got to inbound the ball. Steph was being double teamed at the baseline over
At the
here.
baseline, yep.
And then that's why Draymond got even remotely that wide open to even take such a dumbass shot. But I'm sitting here saying and that was 2021 Steph, leading the league in scoring, right?
Yeah.
April went crazy. So Gilbert saying that, I'm just like, yo, at this point you're trolling. I understand you trying to get clicks, but you said it's almost like he woke up and was like, all right, Steph Curry, what can I say that hasn't been said and could cause up some controversy? Oh, they say he's generational. Nick Kyle Korver, Ray Allen. Shut up, Gilbert. What are you talking about? If you say Steph,
I don't think what he
is not
said
a
was wrong, though. He
generational
said-
talent.
I don't think he did that for clicks. I don't
You don't
think
think
I agree with that sentiment too of
because
generational
with
talent versus
that
player.
with that train of thought, I can understand exactly why he's saying that.
Why?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You weren't listening before?
No, I was out of the
Let me
room.
finish.
I was-
So basically,
Yeah.
basically
was out of the
what
room.
you were saying was with Steph, you can kind of teach the things that he's really good at, the shooting.
I really
okay.
don't think
Versus-
you can though.
versus guys like
even-
LeBron.
I agree,
Yeah,
Gifted.
I
You
think
can't
yeah.
teach somebody to shoot like that. That motherfucker's crazy.
Right, bro.
Like that shit.
Hold on.
Bro,
Go ahead.
the amount of depth perception to
Yes,
quickly
bro.
have a very fast jump shot, read it quickly, like seeing him take the ball this season and do a 180 spin shot
Oh my God!
for
I
the
remember
game
that.
winner versus the Suns, like you
Yeah,
can't
you
do
barely
that like
do.
that to me.
Oh, hold on.
I'm
But
sorry, you
a
can't.
guy's let's just say it's easier to teach that than it is for me to teach someone a Giannis, LeBron type game because people aren't 6'10", 6'9".
I get what you're
There's
there's a
inherent gifts that they have.
there's a possibility
Exactly.
that
The
can
possibility,
be replicated.
Exactly.
Other
Okay.
than there's not a
Yeah.
possibility where we
Okay,
can fucking do
I
that.
can agree
That's
with
because
that.
without the
physical
athletic build.
gift.
Without
I
the
can agree.
athletic build, you know.
I can agree with that sentiment for sure. I see exactly where you're going with that, but I think I would counter that by saying, so Steph Curry is what, 6'3"? Have we ever seen a 6'3" point guard at his size be able to impact the game this way? Be able
No.
to change the entire landscape of how teams play basketball in an 8 to 10 year stretch in this way? No, there's never
change the
been
game.
someone of his size to change the entire game, the entire way that teams play the game of basketball. To the point where, like Dub said, like Dub alluded to earlier, in the 2017 and 2018 finals in the KD years, they look at Kevin Durant, right? Everybody knows Kevin Durant, best player on the team. Get that, cool, whatever, right? Just based off of his stature and his ability. Steph Curry is the biggest threat on the team still, to the point where Ty Lue is telling you, look, yeah, we know they got KD. We know he probably gonna go stupid, but we keeping our eye on Steph at all times. Can't never let that nigga get caught. Can't never lack with Steph on the perimeter, leaving him open or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, to that point, I would say Steph is a generational talent for somebody his stature. They were saying the same thing
I
about
think
how
he's a generational player.
before.
He's a generational
Yeah.
player without a doubt.
Yeah.
I think the talent
So,
thing again, him at Davidson,
to be able to teach that, yeah, well, go ahead.
yeah,
keep
like
going.
him at Davidson, like he was doing this. You could see this kind of, not
Davidson
like
is
this
doing
level,
things.
obviously, but he was
Crazy.
putting up crazy shots. He was doing
Yeah.
crazy things at Davidson.
I
He was
just don't
doing
think you
crazy
teaching
things at
that shit. I'm
Davidson.
sorry.
Right? With shooting and all that. Like, he was 100%. And to me, the shooting aspect, like, I can take a guy, let's say a 10-year-old, do 10,000 shots a month for the mid-range, from 3-point shot, whatever. And you do that for 10 years, 10,000 shots a month, you're going to be really, really good. Now, this level, sure, you can say there's some gifts, whatever. It'll take another level of just practicing, honing your skills. But again, I just think to be a phenomenal shooter the way he is, and like what Gibbs said, the depth and all that, like that, to me, that can all still be learned. There's nothing I can do for you to learn to be 6'9" like LeBron and fly, or like Giannis or Shaq. You know what I mean? There's nothing.
Or even
that-
MJ.
but that's
Somebody asked
even
if
MJ,
MJ's generate. Like MJ literally has. I think he has the highest divert or the second high. Like
I think
vertical
it's
is
MJ
insane.
his hang time is actually crazy.
It's bro, when he would jump,
Yeah.
he would still be in the air while players reach the floor.
He legitimately
You
floats.
can't fucking teach that. That's crazy.
Yes. My problem with how we're using generational, again, like I get why people might think that it's open. Like, okay, your athleticism is basically something that is God-given to you, right? Like,
God-given gift.
My thing is, when I hear generational, I think about everything. Like what about you makes you generational? The word generation means like you're standing out from the masses as this outlier guy because of something. And to me, that comes down to talent. If you're born 8 foot or whatever, like that's your talent. Like I'm God-givenly bigger than everyone. Now, how do I apply that size? Because we've seen 7-footers in the league be tall and not be on shit, right? Like your talent and your application of that, right? Magic Johnson, for him to have the brain to pass at such a high level at that size is why he was generational, right? For LeBron James, for him to like understand the game the way that he does and be as athletic as he is, that's why he's a generational talent. Even for Allen Iverson, which Dub, I agree with you. I don't know why Gilbert didn't really harp on this point. For Allen Iverson to be at the club for 4 or 5 hours a night and come back to the game and give you 30.
Oh yeah, AI's a generational talent
and not get hurt.
Yeah,
that is generational to me.
Yeah.
And it's like, to me, in all of those instances, I'm saying the talent and the application of it made that player generational to me.
And so also to piggyback off of that, back to Steph Curry, like this is
Brandon Katz, you got to be the dumbest motherfucker. I'm sorry to not think that he was a generational talent. That man could have been pro in football and basketball. That man was an athlete. That man was an insane athlete. The way that he was able to play at that size with that durability, he's going 45 minutes plus, 40 minutes plus, and playing the way he plays, bent down with 7-footers, and he's not even 6 foot. Shut up.
Anyway, as I was saying, I'm a he got him tight. As I was saying, I'm gonna piggyback off of this comment and get back to Steph Curry in the sense of this generational word, because a lot of people like to me, the earlier years of Steph, when he was having all them damn ankle problems and he was in trade talks and he was in package deals and all that shit, for him to come back from that level of adversity, figure out, okay, I'm really, really good at this one aspect that can't nobody really fuck with me on, and that's 3-point shooting. So I'm gonna go ahead and attack from that area. And then you look at the team that was around him, of course, and they adopted the play style surrounding that free flowing offense. And 3-point shooting is about to win us a championship. But to be the head, to be the one that led the charge in that regard, to where, I mean, Steph's breakout game was in Madison Square Garden when he was cooking Iman Shumpert in the crew. That was his breakout game when he had 54. So from that point on, it was like, all right, bro, look, I'm here. Mind you, for years, Chris Paul, right before the Warriors started winning championships, Chris Paul is looked at as the best point guard in the game. Now, then all of a sudden, when the Warriors start, what you looking at, Gifted? What you got?
I'm sorry. I really like, I just want to point out, like, this is the shit that we're saying could potentially get taught. These are Steph's career shooting splits, okay? 65.2% at the rim, 53.2% on step back threes, 52 point. By the way, career averages over a 13-year career, 48.6% corner three, 46.9% open three.
What is that compared to like a Ray Allen or Reggie Miller? Just out of curiosity.
Hang on. 37.7% on heavily contested threes.
That's
Bruh.
37%.
Can't shoot 37 from 3. That's so heavily contested.
That's better than DeMar DeRozan on spot ups.
It be like that. It be like that.
That's
What
all
are you
I'm
gonna do,
saying, Doug. That's all I'm saying.
You-
man.
you
That
can-
shit is insane,
You can
bro.
teach 50.
50% step back threes, bro.
53%
Nah, being able to
for a
shoot
career.
37 with a
crazy.
hand in your face.
With a hand in your face. Yeah, bro.
That's crazy. bro.
That's crazy, bro. That's
That-
crazy.
that's-
I promise you, we're gonna see somebody shoot that again.
I really
I really don't think, because here's the thing.
It'll be a long time before
It is gonna be
I
a
think
long time.
within the next decade, I think we'll see for sure. Especially with all
bro,
the players
I'm gonna be
playing
honest.
with
I don't even mean to be an asshole because like I gotta be very careful about how I phrase this, right? Like
Right.
we keep saying that like you can't teach size. I'm sorry. Wemby just got drafted. Like there's more athletic freaks coming into the NBA more and more and more now. The level of skill you got to be at that size, perform in that way.
It's crazy.
To like
Generational
clear,
talent.
like to absolutely clear categories though, like in all
Yeah.
aspects of shooting, off ball, on ball,
Yeah.
heavily contested, off the screen.
It won't be a big
smothered,
guy. It's got to be
pull-up,
like a
corner.
6'3", 6'2", 6'4" guy. I don't think it'll be a 7 guy touching those numbers. That'd be
We'll see,
insane.
man.
Look, man, they said it was gonna be Trae Young when he was walking into the league. That's the next Steph Curry.
They
And
did
then
say
we saw
Trae
how
Young.
that shit fizzled
That
out.
motherfucker just be chucking, bro.
He just
Oh
be
my
chucking.
It be like
God.
that.
And Jalen.
Now he be missing wide open stuff.
That's what's going to
Yeah.
be the difference to me when they start having conversations, like you said, potentially a decade from now, 20 years from now, about, oh, this player is he might be better than Steph Curry. Look, they're going to look at that player as a shot chucker, and they're going to look at Steph Curry as a tough shot maker based off all the numbers Gifted was just reading off. Because
Yeah.
look,
But the
It's-
crazy part about Steph, which like makes him so different to me, is he is a shot chucker. Because he takes
And
listen,
Gifted,
Steph
that's
Curry
why I
has the
don't like
worst,
his bitch ass, bro.
bro.
Them
Listen,
shots should not go in, bro. And they just got. And I was saying
but
that.
see, look,
Yo, Gifted. I was saying that on my channel. I'm like, bro, that's why I don't like him, bro. That's really where it stems from. This man
he puts him up.
He takes terrible shots that should not go in, and
He
he
literally
just go
has
in.
a F shot quality for his career, but
Yes.
that's how crazy of a shooter he is. Because for him to have an F shot quality and shoot those numbers on the poorest shot quality,
bro. That's not fair. Like,
that-
why are you even playing in the league, bro? Like, shut. Like,
like
go
go
to
somewhere,
the hole or something. Do a
I
mid,
hear you.
bro. I'm not, bro.
You.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Watching that shit, bro, because I'm a fan of ethical hoops. That shit ain't ethical to me, bro. Those are bad shots.
It's
bro.
hoops, baby.
What was Harden? What was Harden shooting his kind of prime years with those?
Oh, Harden,
That's what
you
I'm
seen
35%.
Harden, you
That's
seen the mid range, right? And
Yeah.
then you seen the get it on his own, dribble, step to
Yeah.
the side, man in his face, Steph running around screens and just pulling us some bullshit.
But that's the thing,
Bro,
though. That's
I'm
the
not
thing, though.
here. Like,
I'm
that
not gonna lie
get
to
me
you.
mad, bro.
I'm not
I
gonna
hate
lie
That's
to
how
you.
elite it is.
I'm
If
not
it
gonna lie to
makes
Nah,
you
bro.
mad,
Yo, Gifty,
it's-
you should have met me in
you-
2016.
exactly,
You would have
exactly.
hated me. You would have hated me. I hated the Warriors, bro.
No.
Even
I feel
before KD, I hated them, bro. Oh my God.
The
When
way
they
you
blew
feel
us
that.
into a lead, it was the happiest day of my life. Oh my, I became a LeBron fan because of that shit, bro. Oh my God.
that is generational glaze.
Steph is
I
generational. Steph is generational. Some
I
people
will say this,
generational
though.
talent. I'm not
You
mad
just-
at it.
You just reminded me, because the way that you just described, like how angry you got watching Steph play, that
Oh,
was the key how I was with Harden, and only in the regular season, MVP Harden years. Like, I was pissed
the
because
free throws.
the free throws, bro, they used to piss me off because I'm
Bro,
sitting
teams
there,
have to change how they guarded Harden. Bro.
Literally.
Like, they
They
could
was,
not
like,
guard him.
I'm sitting here looking at this like, bro, if I see
Yeah.
James Harden dribble, right, just stalling the offense, and then he get a little step back three, get a 4-point play, it pissed me off. I'm like, yo, this thing is just sitting here toying with the primary defender, and he's like, all right, I'm just gonna step back, or I'm gonna hit you with the foul, throw his arms up. Because here's the thing about Harden, I hate, but respect players that know how to get the calls. There's a difference. A lot of people get pissed off at Joel Embiid, for example, right? Half the time, niggas flopping. The other half of the time,
But the
niggas
thing
was
is,
getting hit.
and this is the thing with Harden and Embiid, ZZ,
Mhm.
is like you can respect it because even though there's some bullshit free throws, there's a lot of times where they just getting it out the mud. And you just
Yeah.
Yeah, get that shit out the
Yeah.
mud. Yeah.
like when Harden
why I
hit
got-
that three on KD, Clay, and
I
freaking.
remember
Yes,
that, yeah.
yes.
All three
I
of
was
them.
like, damn.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
like,
The
That's why I'm
discourse
like-
around Harden, the discourse around
Mhm.
Harden when he was the greatest scorer ever during that time. Like, those
It
are the times
was,
people
it was.
have it.
It was.
Those are
I
really
don't remember the conversations. I
I
remember.
was
don't want to
comparing
piss
to
off the
Kobe.
Miami fans watching this shit, but I will say this, right? Like James Harden, like, oh my God, I can't believe all the calls he gets, but then Wade doing the same shit. Oh, look at him.
Oh yeah, I
Such a
never
winner.
understood
Such
that.
a-
Like
Never
James
understood
Dwayne
that.
Wade won a ring off of free throws. Like
Wade,
why?
yes,
Why
Wade was one of those players.
There's still ethical buckets. He had a lot of ethical buckets.
he
that
did,
series.
but like he was cut from the
Yeah.
same cloth. The kick out shit, the whole jumping
Yeah.
into players.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, he was
Same
a
cloth.
main advocate of that.
Now,
Like let's
I
not
can
do that.
I can understand why players get like when you read the NBA polls, the players they hate the most over the years. I remember I was always like, why the hell is Chris Paul always in the top like 30? You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
hate Chris Paul too for that shit. Yeah, no, yeah. Because
but when you watch the game, I'm like, yo, I see why they hate this nigga. Bro.
I'm a Chris
because
Paul
every time Chris
fan,
Paul tries
too.
to gaslight you, like you did nothing, like
yes,
like
every
oh
time.
what? Oh my God, I can't believe but you punched him in the rib and then he pushed you off you and you flop.
Chris
like,
Paul definitely one of those guys. Other people realize.
I don't know what it is. I
he's not a
love
cool
Chris
dude.
Paul, bro.
I love Chris Paul.
think
too.
he's-
I'm a Chris Paul
don't-
fan.
Don't get me wrong. I've been a Chris
shit,
Paul
you would have
fan.
hated me.
I have Chris Paul.
Oh, Lord.
Good
Hated the fuck out of Chris Paul.
No, but I've always been a CP fan strictly because, like, at the end of the day, I was literally like, I can't make a legitimate case for traditional point guards in the league, and I can't look past Chris Paul because this nigga can get it done. The
That
fact
dude
that
could do
turn,
everything.
he can do everything.
He could do everything you
The
need.
mid range.
I remember how mad I was when he
Really?
fucking got hurt in the weeks of
Oh.
Rocket series. Oh
that's
my God, that pissed me off. And as
That's
soon as
unfortunate.
I seen him in the regular season next year, I knew damn well they weren't going to win. I'm like, yep, CP3 ain't healthy. That shit hurting him. I could tell. I said they're gonna lose, and what I'm gonna have to hear, oh yeah, CP3 ain't that guy. They could have won this year. When you could clearly tell CP3 was not the same player that year. And I'm just like, I'm just gonna have to hear all this bullshit.
Get to think about it. Hey, look, 2018 they ain't have Chris Paul. 2019 we ain't had KD. Steph had 0 in the first half. What happened? How that happened?
3 in a second. I'll
Steph
never
was
forget that
locking
game.
him up. I mean, KD was locking him. I mean, Chris Paul was locking him up, bro. Chris Paul was locking him up.
Hey,
I
I'm
remember
saying
that, bro.
the discourse would be very different on CP and Harden if that.
Here's the thing, though.
Against the Warriors, I'm just saying that hamstring don't
Yeah.
happen. They end up being the
I keep
Warriors.
saying if they didn't play the Warriors, they probably won a title that year. That team was that good to me.
Yeah.
The Warriors are just a better team.
But the crazy part is that on the flip side of that, Jalen, since you're a Bron sexual, I've heard.
I'm a Bron fan. We keep it 100.
Oh, Bron fan,
you are
Bron fan,
Bron sexual.
Bron
We ain't got to lie about it.
Duke,
Duke,
Duke, you're right. He got so fucking lucky. He only should have won over and got
That's
sad.
right, dude. That's right, dude.
swear.
Cry.
He got
Cry in the chat, dude.
Swear,
Cry.
bro.
Cry in the chat.
He started
I love
cooking
the
as
feeling.
soon as CP
I
got
love the
hurt.
feeling.
Like,
Cry in the
my
chat.
He got lucky in
God.
2015 when Kyrie and Love was hurt. Then he got lucky when CP got hurt.
It's
A
just
lot
so much
going on.
love,
Just like LeBron
bro.
got lucky for all of his rings. You know what I'm saying? He
Literally.
won
That
one
is
in
true.
Disneyland.
every single one of his rings.
You got to be good to be lucky. I mean, every player gets lucky.
Miami
Oh,
was
duh.
hurt. Miami's whole
Some more than
team
others.
was
Some
hurt.
more than others. Some more than others. But hey, you know what? With that, minute 40, we gonna reach the end of our episode chat. It's
Hey,
been a
goodbye.
great one. Yep. Game 1 finals tonight. Make sure
This
to
was
tap
fun.
in on playback.
This was fun.
Yeah,
JD's
tap
gonna
in.
be there. This was fun.
I think we did a lot of what's that word called? When you look back and reminiscing today.
Yeah,
We
back
did.
a
We
lot
did.
of-
We did.
Brought back a lot of bad memories.
bad memories, good memories.
I
A little
can't
bit of
dwell
both.
on
We need
this.
both in life.
And all
Good
started
bad memories.
because Jalen was trying to bring up DeMar DeRozan off ball. Ooh,
Wait.
It did start with the boy.
Man, every time all the wasted years of LeBron,
He's very good at cutting
because
to
the
the basket.
management,
That's
I'm just saying,
insane.
all the
outta
wasted
here,
years,
bro.
all the wasted years of LeBron's career. It is a travesty what management have done to this man in the Lakers.
I mean,
It is
y'all
an
have
absolute
to go. I'm
travesty.
looking at
Absolute
stream on this shit.
And
Look at this thing, bro.
It's like they was